This week on Angler Chronicles, Sergio and crew learn just how good the fishing is at San Vicente. We will check with the experts as FLW Bass Pro Manas Malakian puts on a clinic explaining the fine art of largemouth bass fishing. Also joining Sergio this week from Owner Hooks is Viet Nguyen, Chief Fishing Officer, as well as Jimmy Getty, Owner Hooks rep and expert bass fisherman. Valuable information on San Vicente Reservoir is provided by licensed guide and local expert Captain James Nelson. Stay tuned and fasten your seatbelts as San Vicente is next on Angler Chronicles and only on Fox Sports West. Angler Chronicles, providing exciting sport fishing action with Sergio and crew. With an emphasis on angler education through the Owner Hooks on-the-water fishing schools, Angler Chronicles is determined to produce only the very best family entertainment. Stay tuned because Angler Chronicles with Sergio and crew is next.
Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Angler Chronicles as we team up with the Owner Hooks fishing team here at the San Vicente Reservoir. We're ready to fish, want to catch some largemouth bass, so let's get this thing going.
John. Hey, bud.
Danny and Sergio fishing for Old Willie.
This is San Vicente Lake in San Diego County, city of Lakeside. The lake just reopened about 2 months ago. It's closed for 8 years due to the dam construction. Fishing's been really good on reactive baits, Alabama rigs, swim baits, drop shot, a whole bunch of different techniques. Hopefully we'll wax them today on those.
Let's go fishing.
We're gonna go look in deep water for schooling bass. Hopefully we can get some double hookups on the Alabama rig. Yeah, you're allowed to cast over the buoy line. You're not allowed to just have your boat over there. Yeah, we're out here fishing at San Vicente. It's recently opened back up after 8 years of being closed. They redid the construction on the dam, adding about 175 feet of water into the lake. So what we're doing is fishing over big deep brush piles in 50 to 75 feet, hoping these fish will come out and eat the worm or come get an A-rig.
We saw some fish on the graph here. Matt pointed it out to me, so I came up here and dropped this drop shot down and got bit immediately. We talked about earlier, drop shotting with I'm using a #1 Owner mosquito hook. You got super fine wire, super needle point, and it penetrates, gets them roof of the mouth every time. We're gonna let this one go and grow up to be bigger. See you, buddy.
First thing in the morning on a drop shot with an Owner. Oh, here it comes. Look at that. Look at that. Where's the net? This is a good fish, by the way.
Oh yeah, Sergio. Oh yeah.
That is a nice fish.
Hey, how about a 6-pounder to start today, Sergio?
All right, beautiful fish here at San Vicente Reservoir. And just like Viet says, when you use a 1-aught mosquito Owner hook, it'll get them every single time. Sharp hook, digs in deep, and easy also to pull out. Great way to start the morning.
Good job, Sergio.
Angler Chronicles proud to be sponsored by owner Perfection in Hooks, Carne de Teresa quality marinated meats, Prairie Fresh premium pork, a taste like no other, and by Turner's Outdoorsman, your fishing, hunting, and shooting headquarters since 1971.
We're out here today fishing at San Vicente Reservoir in San Diego, California. We're actually targeting largemouth bass, but in the lake you also have crappie, bluegill, shell crackers, channel catfish. Never know what you're gonna get. We're fishing a bunch of different types of baits today, reaction baits, traditional worms, swim baits. Pretty much you name it, we're trying it out here.
So I'm using about a 13-inch leader. There's a lot of brush in this lake. Using a 5100 hook, just a margarita mutilator worm, robo worm. And now I'm gonna release this big guy.
We're doing a lot of drop shotting today. I just want to show you guys how simple it is to tie this rig. These fish are suspended just off the bottom, so I'm gonna come up about 15-16 inches off the bottom. This is a size 2 owner mosquito hook. Once you get it through the eye, you're just gonna make a regular overhand knot like so, and you see that hook stick straight out like that. I'm nose rigging, you know, a finesse style worm, just like so. And on the bottom, that worm's gonna float up, and we're just twitching it off the bottom, and those fish cannot resist. And that's your simple drop shot rig.
Little peanut on the drop shot again. That's the one thing about drop shot. You just never know what size they're gonna be.
This is the owner inshore head. We make them in 2 colors, red and white. I have the reds on here right now because I know about the weight of these. And these are a great lead head for throwing this Alabama style fishing. You got nice sharp hooks. Also 3D living eyes, so your bait looks great in the water, especially this clear water. Hopefully we can find some more busters and get some fish on this Alabama rig.
Yeah, especially fishing. Every time I see a mark on a fish, drop the drop shot straight down. You watch the fish follow it down, shake it a couple times, let it hang out, and wait for a bite. Pretty much it. And then this is the reward that you get.
What we're doing is releasing the oxygen out of the oxygen bladder of the fish. When you catch them from deep and you reel them up too fast, they don't have a chance to regulate. Just like a normal scuba diver, they get the bends. And that's when you use the bends mender and you poke them between the crushers and then put them underneath the water. And as you can see, the air coming out is releasing. Once that stops, you let them go. My A-rig. Oh, come on. Oh, the third one came up to eat it, but he didn't get it. Just got a hook, double hook up with the Alabama rig, using all the inshore owner jig heads and all the pro parts that you can find on their website.
This is on a 5133 drop shot hook and a margarita mutilator.
Let's just talk about these bass real quickly. We're out here in the fall. The fish are hanging a little deep. They'll come up and bite tight up onto the surface, but you got to get them up first. So what we're doing is we're just hitting the whole water column. We're dropping everything all the way down 70 feet, working stuff back up to the top, and find the fish somewhere in the middle.
There it is. It just bit. I'm on.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's calling your shots.
That is calling your shots.
You see that fish was in 30 feet. Literally swam 20 feet down to the bottom, followed it down. As soon as I hit the bottom, a couple shakes, and this is me setting the hook on the fish as the fish is coming back up to the surface. That's a drop shot again with a 5100 owner worm hook, just using a margarita mutilator. A nice rewarding about 4-pound bass right there.
Angler Chronicles at San Vicente Reservoir. We'll be right back.
Folks, if you're just now joining us, Sergio is fishing today with local guides and bass fishing pros at San Vicente Reservoir in San Diego County.
And again,
Now what lure is that on now?
same technique, just drop shot, 5100. I'm using a 1/0 owner 5100 hook and using a 6-inch robo worm margarita mutilator.
Got another one on the Alabama rig.
That owner inshore head, right, Matt?
Yep, owner inshore heads, 1/8 ounce on all 3 of them. Sometimes I'd like to go to a little bit heavier, maybe a 3/16 ounce in the middle bait. Kind of just will help you have your Alabama rig swim a little more naturally. 7 wraps down through the bottom, back up through the top. Always get your line wet when you're tying and cinching your knots down, because the heat from the actual knot being tied will weaken your line if you don't, and you'll lose a lot of fish due to that.
Hey, it's Captain James Nelson out here at San Vicente. We got Brian and Steve here hooked up on a couple bass. We're catching largemouth bass in the trees here. What could be more fun than that?
So we're out here fishing the San Vicente Reservoir, and you look along the shorelines, there's a lot of submerged trees, bushes, and drop-offs. And what I'm fishing here today is a brand new jig from owner called an Akuro structure jig in the red craw color. And you look at the head design on this jig, it's very, very unique. You notice the eye is inline versus cross-eyed. Reason we do that is so that it can go through cover a lot easier without getting hung up. Also behind that eye, you see a big knot on its head. And what that does is when you're pulling it through branches, you're pulling it through rocks, it's gonna take it right to the weed guard. So it'll definitely avoid hang-ups. That is owner's patented cutting point hook on there. Super, super sharp, triple edged. So as soon as the fish bites it, it's going to penetrate and you're gonna get you the best hook set possible. And the trailer on the back of this I'm using today is a Strike King structure bug in green pumpkin. You look at this, it's super, super clear water, so you want the most natural looking lure possible. And a very, very successful lure today for us, and hopefully we'll catch a lot more with them.
Got a bass. Nice double hook up with the Alabama rig once again. The owner inshore jig heads are doing a great job today for us. Always keeping these fish hooked all the way to the boat. Here's a good shot of the owner jig heads that we're using. These are an 1/8 ounce. Like I said, you can go all the way up to 1/2 ounce. Or even heavier depending on how deep you're fishing and how you want your bait to get down to the bottom.
Angler Chronicles with the Owner Hooks fishing team at San Vicente Reservoir. We're getting it done. Yeah. High five, guys. High five, Matt.
San Vicente is open Thursday through Mondays. Most of the days of the week it's going to be sunrise to sunset, and it's a wonderful lake to come fish. There is also some other water sports available, but really, let's talk about the fishing.
Oh, yeah. You got him. He's up.
Thanks, James.
He's right on that bush.
Okay, right. Yeah, he's not gonna go. He's not coming out.
One of the neat characteristics of San Vicente is they've just reopened it. They had it closed for about 8 years. They raised the water level, built a new dam in the meantime, and what we've got is a lot of flooded trees. We've got fish hanging in those flooded trees. We've got trees both onshore, offshore, and the fish are just hanging to that. The bait's hanging to it, and it's fun. Now, San Vicente isn't really known for its crappie, but what we're finding is right now the crappie are also in the trees. So we're not only catching bass, but also some big crappie.
All these fish are coming out of 30 to 60 feet of water. And when you catch them that deep, they start filling up with air. If you can see this fish's belly, it's hard as a rock, full of air. And a lot of times what guys do, mistakenly, they throw them back, but they don't realize that this fish needs to get back down at least 40 feet to equalize itself again. And you go right between the two crunchers, and you can hear the air coming out.
Interesting, wow.
Nice fish, once again on our inshore 1/8 ounce heads. Nice and strong hooks, won't bend out on you if you do get a nice big fish.
So I changed it up a little bit, still fishing deep, same thing, fishing a long point that goes out. So this is the pivot head made by Owner. This is the weedless version. It comes with an offset hook. They also do make it in a straight shank. It's just like fishing a Texas rig worm. All you're gonna do is take the hook, insert it at the back end of the plastic, right where the bend is, come out and give it a little twist, get that plastic right back into that shank right there where it meets the eye. And then the way we rig this, we call it skin hooking. So all we're gonna do is take the plastic and the hook right where the bend is. So I'm gonna gauge it right here, and we'll come out, and the whole hook will be out, and then I'll skin hook it, what some other guys call texposing, and I'll just push back on the plastic a little and bury that point right back in.
Look at that, Serge. Size 4 Owner hooks.
Got one. Yep. We got this fish right here on an Owner's shaky football head and a Reaction Invasion Sweet Beaver. It's about a 4-pound fish. The beauty of this shaky football head is it allows me to fish that deeper water because we make this in quarter all the way up to 3/4 ounce in lead and green pumpkin. This is gonna float up like this with that plastic. Looks like a crawdad, a shad, any kind of bluegill, any forage in the lake. Look for these in your local tackle shop. They're all over.
Angler Chronicles, proud to be sponsored by Owner Perfection in Hooks, Carne de Teresa, quality marinated meat, Prairie Fresh Premium Pork, a taste like no other, and by Turner's Outdoorsman, your fishing, hunting, and shooting headquarters since 1971.
Now that we're more in the middle of the day.
You can use a variety of normal bass lures and baits for these fish. What we're finding right now is shiners work really well. There's no bait restrictions, so feel free to try a bunch of different things. Shiners, worms, crawdads, and you can go to plastics and hard baits too.
With this fish is 75 feet. Seems like the fish just decided to go out deeper now that we're more in the middle of the day. I'll start moving up shallow. Just throwing the same thing, drop shot. Seems like the drop shot is the best thing going today.
Folks, we'd like to thank Viet Nguyen and all the pro staff at Owner Hooks and Captain James Nelson for their help today at San Vicente. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on Angler Chronicles.